Yeah, that's nothing. I feel like bachelorette parties and bachelor parties are so different. Like, bachelorette parties are like, let's sit around and talk about how much we like each other. And bachelor parties are like, yeah, we're sleeping up there. Yeah. We're having a white club. Oh, really? Hardcore. She had a role. Her role was get the groceries. Yeah. Oh, in Nashville? That's a classic. It's fun though. Advil. Oh, that's me. I don't go out. Nope. Wait. Oh my parents would. Oh my. It's already nerve-wracking enough standing up there, you know, like. Great. Are you associating with? How do you know? You're triggering me. Okay. Yeah. As one should. Wedding. Oh my. He's like, you can represent me in front of all my family. This is not true. So is your brother? No. Yeah. It's life interesting. I was homeschooled. Yeah. Right. Yeah, you know. You picked well.
Good afternoon, everyone, and let me just thank you for joining us. I want to certainly thank our Attorney General, Chris Carr, our Agriculture Commissioner, Gary Black, Department of Public Safety, Colonel Wright, GEMA Director Stallings, Brigadier General Dwayne Wilson with the Georgia National Guard, and Commissioner Curry with the Revenue Department for being here with us today, and also glad to be joined by our great First Lady and First Daughter, Amy Porter's with us today. As you all know, yesterday I signed an executive order to temporarily suspend the gas tax in Georgia in light of the Colonial Pipeline cyber attack. This executive order included increasing the weights limits for vehicles transporting fuel, thereby providing more supply for stations as they receive deliveries. Also yesterday, the State Environmental Protection Division worked closely with Agriculture Commissioner Gary Black and his office to formally request a waiver from the Federal Environmental Protection Agency for the use of the winter fuel that was held in storage. As of late last night, that waiver was approved, and I'd like to thank the EPA for doing so. While we do not believe the winter fuel mix will be enough to completely fix the shortages we're currently seeing, we are optimistic it will help increase supply in the short term. In terms of new actions today, I will be receiving a briefing from the Georgia Cyber Center soon in order to ensure all of state government is prepared for what may come our way next. My staff has also engaged the state's Cybersecurity Advisory Board, which my office launched in 2019 following the cyber attack on the Department of Public Safety. Comprised of professionals from the Georgia National Guard, Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency, the GBI, the Georgia Cyber Center, and the Georgia Technology Authority. This advisory board will be coordinating with state agencies so that they are being as proactive as possible in preventing any other potential attacks to our state systems. I'll quickly note here that all state employees are required to complete quarterly cybersecurity training. While we are currently not aware of any potential threats to state systems, we're doing all we can to ensure that if an attempt is made, our employees and our agencies are well equipped to respond. My main message to Georgians today is that the most effective way to address the fuel shortages we are experiencing is for everyone to remain calm and only get the fuel you need to carry out essential activities. Please do not go out and fill up every 5-gallon can that you have. Doing so will only mean this shortage will last longer and more Georgians will be unable to make it to work, take their kids to school, or get to their medical appointment. We continue to be hopeful that Colonial will be able to meet their stated timeline for resuming normal operations by the end of the week. While we await further action from the federal government, rest assured that the state has taken every action available to us in order to make this fuel shortage short and painless as possible. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our Attorney General, Chris Carr, to address price gouging. General?
Thank you, Governor. When Governor Kemp declared this state of emergency, Georgia's price gouging statutes were activated. What this means is that while the state of emergency remains in effect, businesses may not charge more for products and services identified by the governor than they charged before the declaration. This includes motor fuel and diesel fuel. It's important to note, however, that prices may go up due to a verifiable increase in the cost of new stock or the cost to transport it, plus the retailer's average markup percentage applied during the 10 days immediately prior to the declaration of the state of emergency. While we believe this to be a short-term event, like the governor, I want to warn consumers to be on the lookout for scams and possible price gouging. And we want to make sure you understand how to report such instances. No one should be taking advantage of consumers who are trying to continue their daily routines. While we will review all price gouging complaints to ensure that the law is followed. As of now, we've received more than 300 complaints, And if you see a scam or price gouging, call 404-651-8600 inside the Metro Atlanta area or 800-869-1123 toll-free outside of the calling area. And you can also report online at consumer.ga.gov. And I'd like to now turn it over to our Agricultural Commissioner, Gary Black.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to echo the governor and appreciate the urging of calm. We have an opportunity here to work together as a family of Georgians. I'm confident we're going to get through this together. We're very pleased. I want to compliment our federal partners because we've had some terrific cooperation just from being able to request this waiver, and then we institute the things we did as a department this morning. And so I think that spirit of cooperation will help us solve this problem. And as we move forward, hopefully we're on the short run of solving the issues with the pipeline, but certainly know that the Georgia Department of Agriculture, with our responsibility with fuel quality and then the enforcement level with those retail outlets, that discretion is there. We're going to have this new product flowing very quickly, and hopefully it's going to solve our problem in short order. So thank you.
All right, with that, we got a lot of folks that have been working on this issue here with us. Be glad to answer any questions you guys may have, and everybody's available. Yeah.
Thank you, Governor. Have you had a chance, sir, to talk with anyone from Colonial Pipeline to get an update on how they are doing and making sure that will end at the end of the week, sir?
Yeah, I haven't personally spoken to the Colonial Pipeline folks. I mean, I've been, as you can imagine, the last couple of days been pretty crazy and have been on the road quite a bit. But our team has been in contact with a lot of different private sector partners that are involved or, part of that network to gauge supply. And we're be quite honest with you, the feds are taking the lead on the cyber incidents, Homeland Security, FBI, and others, and we're just not getting a whole lot of information from them. So that would be great if we could get some more, but we have been able to, with our state partners here, as you can see, we've got everybody we have available trying to run this down. We're talking to a lot of the private sector folks. I may let Commissioner Black speak more to what the retail outlets are telling us. I know we've been in conjunction with them, but you want to add about the retail? What was the retail? What they're telling you about supply?
About retail, we're one thing I think, speaking from the agriculture side of it, from diesel fuel, we're not really hearing any shortages yet, and so that's good. We've got good supplies on at the production level. There are outages. Actually, I left home this morning having failed to gas up last night, and I was wondering if I was going to get here from Commerce. But I did. We found ample supplies on the truck stops up there. So we're here in Gainesville. I've heard some pressures there in and around the different parts of the state. That's been the case. Up and coming, I had a little report too. So hopefully, again, as these supplies begin to flow, that perhaps we can balance that out pretty quickly.
Thanks, Commissioner. Thanks, Governor.
Are there any additional steps that you could take to discourage people from, like you mentioned, hoarding gas or filling up too much?
Yeah, look, I know that's very frustrating. It's frustrating for me, frustrating for a lot of our citizens when you see pictures of people literally filling up, 50, 100-gallon water tanks. There's no need to do that. There's no need to fill up every 5-gallon can that you have at your house. If something changes and we are told that this is not going to be a short-term problem, we will message that. But we are not getting anything other than that message right now from the White House, from anybody in the federal administration, or from the Colonial Pipeline Company. So we're just continuing to message what we're being told. Obviously, people are frustrated by hoarders, if you will. Again, I would just stress to everyone, don't get more, get what you need where you can get your kids to school, where you can get to work, where you can get to a medical appointment, but don't unnecessarily fill up every vehicle you got, every can you got. Give others the opportunity to do the same. we still have fuel flowing into the state. You know, we still have supply that's coming in. We've done everything under the powers that I have in the state government and these folks that are standing behind me to increase weights, drive times, working with the trucking industry. I mean, I have offered for the State Patrol to do escorts if that would help move fuel quicker. We will put anything on the table to get the supply to the retail outlet to make it available to our citizens. We haven't been taken up on that request as of yet, but I think what happened, you know, this problem existed Saturday and Sunday, but I don't think people were quite paying attention to the news. And then with the glut of the news on Monday, literally national news, obviously the state news here, people started getting concerned. They made a run on the pumps, wiped out a lot of the stations, and now it's just taking us longer than it normally would to get that supply to the marketplace because we don't have the Colonial Pipeline. So it makes sense to understand why we're in this predicament, but we're just urging people to be patient, get what you need, but don't get more than you need. Give your fellow citizens the opportunity to do the same, and just know that we are doing everything in our power to move the fuel here as quick as possible, but we just can't control what's happening with the pipeline or the company. The federal government and Homeland Security is taking the lead on that, and we just don't have a lot of information, quite honestly. I wish we had more. It's a little bit frustrating for me. I know other governors have expressed that frustration, but that is just the facts. And I've told people I will be transparent. If we get new news, whether it's good or bad, we will share it so people know what they're dealing with.
Governor, can you address efforts to make sure that essential vehicles, law enforcement vehicles, emergency vehicles, continue to get
say that
fuel?
one more time.
Essential vehicles, how essential vehicles, law enforcement vehicles, emergency vehicles can remain fueled?
Yeah, I think we're in good shape from the state perspective. I'll let Colonel Wright speak to that. I know just a little while ago I got briefed. We are not hearing any pleas from our school districts. I think their supply that they have, reserves and otherwise, are going to continue to allow them a few more days of operation, hopefully getting us to the weekend. So I feel very good. I don't know any reason why that shouldn't happen as of just, you know, literally less than an hour ago. We're not hearing any reports from any other state agencies of fuel shortages, but I'll let Colonel Wright speak to the State Patrol supply.
Yeah, we're in good shape at the Department of Public Safety with fuel. We have other state partners that we can rely on, such as the Department of Transportation, and obviously we're conserving fuel just as everyone else is around the state as well. So DPS stands well postured at the moment, and we're in good shape.
If I can ask another question, Governor. Yep. This happens periodically. There's a shortage or an outage or a hurricane comes along. Colonial Pipeline is our main source. What are we doing to look at alternative fuel sources and other pipelines or other companies that are out there? So if this does happen, we're not caught off guard.
Well, look, I think that's one of the things that we need to look at, not only from the state's perspective, but even more so from a national perspective. I mean, I think people are seeing now that pipelines coming into the country bringing energy are pretty dang important. You know, there's some in the country that have taken a different view of that for different reasons to bring all kind of different alternative fuel supplies here. I've always been a supporter of, you know, any and all of the above when it comes to energy. You know, obviously I'm a huge supporter of the electric vehicle market that's emerging in Georgia. We're gonna, I think, lead the country in a lot of those ways, but also realize a lot of people drive cars like myself that need gasoline or other vehicles that need diesel fuel, and we have to have a little bit of everything. Same with our energy supply, which is what really keeps us competitive as a state, having nuclear power, leading on solar, natural gas, and other things, and I think we need to continue to do that. But it just shows how important the pipelines are right now. That, keep in mind, though, we have other supplies. You know, I think Colonial's about 45% of our supply. Obviously, we're going to try to increase that with road transportation, tractor trailers bringing fuel in. But here again, one of the other issues we have, not only in our state but in our country, that I hear about every day is finding enough truck drivers. And I think that's a broader issue of needing more people into the workplace And we're seeing right now inflation's going up, the cost of goods are going up. Everybody I'm talking to all throughout the state needs more workers. That's an issue that I'm working currently with. Got a little disrupted here the last 24 hours with the fuel situation with Commissioner Butler, but we continue to work on that issue to try to make sure that we're getting people back into the workforce to help us with those issues.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.